Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you everything I did step by step to make over $1,200 per day as a 22-year-old online. So as you can see right here, I've included a GIF of myself refreshing my Stripe dashboard because I know I can put some screenshots and some people will still say this stuff is fake. But even if I put a GIF like that, some people will still say, oh, this is fake, you're full of shit. And there it says yesterday zero, so you don't make this kind of money consistently. But what these people forget, there's PayPal as well, there's other service providers, there's bank transfers. So at the end of the day, I put some more pictures here to show you the sort of life I've been living in my early 20s. Some people will still say, this stuff isn't real. You know what? They can go F themselves. So first, when we get to 30,000 YouTube subs, I'm going to be giving away $2,000. All you need to do to win that money is to watch the video until the end, subscribe, and share it with a friend. And I also have a gift for you. In the description, you will find a free video training where I show you exactly how I went from literally zero to 1.2k per day. And right now, I'm also doing free strategy calls where together we come up with a game plan for you to get to $10,000 per month as quickly as possible. So definitely go check it out after this video. So first, why most business models are broken and how I lost thousands of dollars with dropshipping. So on this list, as you can see, I've included a lot of the most popular business models. So we're going to take a look at all of them one by one. And by the end of this video, you will clearly see why they're just broken and why they've been keeping you broke for months or even for years. So first, dropshipping. If you don't know what dropshipping is, you basically spy on the competition, find the trendy core products, and then you resell those same products, which are typically from Wish or AliExpress on your own Shopify store. And the advantage of this model is that it's a pretty accessible way of doing e-commerce. You don't need to start off with $50,000 or $100,000 to start a proper e-commerce brand because you create your store, you get the product from AliExpress, and when a customer places an order, you don't have to send the product yourself. You don't hold any inventory. It's the manufacturer from AliExpress, Alibaba, or Wish that takes care of shipping out the product to the customer. So for a lot of people, it seemed like a great way to make money online, and they didn't want to show their face online, and so that was one of the other advantages. And so when I was in high school, dropshipping became very popular. So I think around 2018 to 2020, with one of my friends, we saw the dropshipping hype on YouTube and on social media in general, and we wanted to give it a try. Now, to be honest with you, I always looked at dropshipping rather objectively. I could see its potential, but I could also see its flaws. But since I was just a broke high school student, I figured, well, I knew I want to start an online business. I knew I wanted to become financially free. So I may as well try something and, if it fails, I'll just learn some valuable lessons and gain some experience in business, which will be very valuable in the future, surely. So I knew that dropshipping wasn't the business model that would make me rich, but I wanted to give it a try, and that is what we did. The first product we ever sold was a flat squeeze mop. I'm not even joking, let me show you. So you see, that's the kind of stuff we were selling. A flat squeeze mop, one of those, I think this one, for about 50 euros, which was slightly more than $50 at the time. And so as you can see, we made some Facebook ads, and only 30 minutes after launching the ad, we got our first sale. As you can see, it was a summer evening, so around 8:16 p.m., we got our first sale. And as you can see, I put a screenshot of the conversation I had with my friend at the time. So he said, oh my god, dude, just look at what's happening. Somebody's buying the product. And I was like, what? What's going on? I didn't believe him, and I was having dinner with my parents when I texted him. And then he tells me, can we call? Somebody bought the product. And then he was swearing because he couldn't even believe it. So I went in my room and I took a picture of my dashboard on my computer with my phone, and I sent it to him because even though he had seen this stuff, I couldn't even believe it myself. So here, as you can see, it showed one sale. This is somebody checking out on the page, and this is one person bought the product. And I took another picture, so it was like one sale. You can see the spike here, and about 16% in terms of a conversion rate. And I think I put the exact picture. I think that's the one. I think that's the same picture, maybe. Not too sure. But as you can see, one person was paying, one person bought the product. And as you can see, the location of the person, so somewhere in France, and 55 euros. And as you can see on that screenshot, that was in 2020. But of course, if I had been successful with this business model, then the story would be over by now. So what happened is that we made one sale, but then Facebook ads quickly ate up all of our ad budget, so we lost hundreds of dollars in a matter of days. All of that to only get one client. Now later on, we also tried dropshipping using organic methods. We were making content on Instagram, and we also had a very specific strategy. We were reaching out to small influencers, typically below 10,000 followers, and offering them to do affiliate marketing for us. So every time one of their followers would purchase our products, they would get a commission. And in just a matter of days, we actually made over $100. But the problem with dropshipping is that the effort to reward ratio simply wasn't worth it. And in the end, we gave up on that business model. And the problem with that business model, because later on I've spoken with very successful dropshippers myself, and like on average, profit margins are 5 to 20%. And especially if you run paid ads, it's going to be closer to 5% than to 20%. So if we do the math together, let's say with dropshipping, you earned $10,000. How much do you actually keep? And keep in mind, most people will never even get to $10,000. So let alone bigger numbers. But if we keep 5 to 20% in profit, we only keep between $500 to $2,000, which is absolutely nothing, because that's before you even pay your corporate tax or your income tax. So at the end, you'd be lucky to keep 50% of that, which would be $250 to $1,000 in your pocket to use as you see fit. Like, come on, you made $10,000 initially. But after tax, like after corporate tax and income tax or dividend tax, you keep $250 to $1,000. So you made 10K, you can flex on social media all you want, but you're actually damn broke. And that's my problem with most of the dropshipping gurus. They promise you the world. They tell you I made $20,000 today, but then, they barely keep any of it. So I know that my numbers are not going to be as impressive, and you can scale much further. That's what I'm in the process of doing myself. But the way that we do it, we sell digital products, services, and coaching, meaning we get to keep most of what we make, like 90 to 95%. Meaning when I actually make $10,000, I get to keep between $9,000 to $9,500. Now that's before taxes, it's full transparency, but it's much better to keep that as opposed to you only keep $500 to $2,000 and then you pay taxes, which, come on, you're left with nothing at the end of it. Even if you lived in a place like Dubai where you pay no taxes, well, you're still left with $500 to $2,000, and life in Dubai is going to be pretty damn expensive. So let's forget about this business model. What about Amazon FBA? It's actually even worse than dropshipping. You know why? Because you actually have to purchase all the inventory up front, and then it's literally the same as dropshipping. You need to run some ads or have a massive audience, and your profits are tiny, 5 to 20%. But like I said, on top of that, you need at least 5K to honestly 15K to buy the inventory and everything. So let's forget about this one. What about ClickBank or affiliate marketing in general? Well, honestly, if you sell high ticket like digital products, for example, you promote $1,000 courses and let's say you get 30%, with each sale that you make, you earn $300 and then you'll pay your taxes. But it's way more. You keep way more. But most people, they're not doing affiliate marketing the right way. They're stuck like earning tiny commissions, reselling the same physical products, which already give out tiny profit margins. And if you wanted to make this work even with digital products, you would need a big audience to make this a viable business model. Otherwise, you'd need to spend a lot of money on paid advertising, which will eat away your profit margins. So honestly, unless you've got a crazy budget for paid ads, you're a veteran entrepreneur, or you have a big audience, forget about affiliate marketing. You would make way more money selling your own products and services. Now what about investing into things like crypto? Honestly, if you have a lot of money to waste, do it. Now when you do have money, you want to invest your money, because with inflation, if you don't, well, you're going to lose money like most people. And as you become wealthier, you want to make money work for you instead of you constantly working for money. But so what I would say is 80% of the time, invest in things that are safe. Invest in the stock market, invest in real estate, invest in bonds. And then 20% of the time, invest in riskier things. Invest in new companies that show a lot of potential. Invest in things like Bitcoin. Because if you invest all of your money into Bitcoin, you can very quickly lose a lot of money. And let's not even talk about day trading. So for that, let's forget about Bitcoin because it's investing. It's not even a business model. Now what about building a small community and charging $50 to $99 per month or $97 per month to make it less expensive? That can work amazing. That can make you 50K, 100K plus per month. But again, if you have a big audience, once more. So if you're just getting started, don't expect to earn more than a few $100 per month, honestly. So let's forget about this one. What about print on demand? So basically, You use platforms like Printful or others, and you put a logo or a design on a shirt, on a mug, on a pillow, on a phone case, and it's like Amazon. People see your online store, and then some people buy. But it's like most people who try print on demand, they don't even make $1. I'm not even joking. So unless you are Justin Bieber, unless you are an influencer that people love with millions of followers, you get lots of views, you're not gonna make any money selling merch. And even some of the biggest YouTubers, like they barely make any money from merch. And again, profit margins, just like with dropshipping, Amazon FBA, affiliate marketing, they're tiny. So out of everything we talked about so far, school is the best business model. But for it to work properly, you need to be famous. So unless you're famous, you're kind of screwed. Now what about being an influencer? Well, lots of people do not want to be an influencer. And most influencers, they focus on getting views, followers, millions and millions of it. But likes are not cash. Likes do not mean cash. Some of your biggest, most favorite influencers, they're broke. So don't just rely on fame or hoping to get 1 million subs to get rich. I mean, there's accounts right now that are very small that make a lot more money than you think. Because there's a difference between business owners and influencers, content creators. And then what about offering traditional coaching? So for example, 1 hour equals $100 of your time. So for example, for 1 hour of coaching, you charge $100. Now, most people would say, well, that's a great salary. It's amazing. You make lots of money, but you can't work 24 hours a day, right? So if you wanted to make $1,000 a day, well, you would need to work to do 10 coaching calls per day. So 10 hours per day, every single day. And if you don't do it, you don't make any money. So instead, the method I'm going to share with you, it's a much smarter way to make money by leveraging the skills and the knowledge that you already possess. And if you think you don't have any skills or knowledge at the moment, let me assure you, there is something in you that you could absolutely monetize and turn into a 6-figure business, if not a 7-figure business. So how come 99% of people fail to make money online? The first thing is, they forget what business is all about. Business is simply about helping people to come up with solutions to solve their painful problems. And every day, billions of people are actually buying solutions to solve their problems. To give you an example, you buy a car because you need to go from point A to point B. You get a gym membership because you want to look better, feel better. You buy a computer because you need it for your personal enjoyment and for work. You're always buying a solution to a problem. And for example, somebody who decides to work with a fitness coach, they pay the fitness coach because they want to get rid of a painful problem. Maybe they're overweight, they don't like the way that they look, their health is seriously going downhill. So they need to fix this painful problem. I invested in myself, I worked with mentors, and I still do it to this day because I want to grow my business. And back then, I barely had any money, so I was broke, and it was very painful to be broke. So I knew I needed to learn from people who knew what they were doing. Now, the other thing is, most people obsess over making a quick buck right now. And that blinds them to the point they can't see the flows of most online business models. So literally everything we just talked about. So for example, low profits, customer support nightmares, high startup capital needed, etc. Now, what do we do differently to make 10K to 100K plus per month online? If you make that kind of money, you are in the top 1% in the world. And you will see that when you get to that level, life becomes absolutely crazy. Honestly, right now it's insane. I can't even describe it. Because when the view that you get from your gym looks like that, or when you get driven around in cars like that, or you go out to dinner whenever you want, you're free. You're completely free. Most people never get to experience that. So here is what we need. We sell solutions to people in the form of coaching or services to help them to solve their painful problems. That's literally it. And anybody can do it. We all have knowledge that we can monetize. And most of my customers, in fact, they came to me. They just knew they wanted to become financially free. They didn't even know what they wanted to sell or to who. But we help them to figure it out. That's the first thing we work on together. So for example, as you can see, you could be a fitness coach, or you don't need to have any degrees or certifications. Some of my customers, they're in great shape. They sell fitness coaching, but they're not certified personal trainers. And some of the certified personal trainers, they don't even know what they're talking about. Some of them, they're overweight. I'm sure you've seen them in school, right? We've all had this fat physical education teacher. So degrees and qualifications and certifications, unless you're a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant, it means nothing. So you could help people to get in shape, to lose weight, to feel more confident in their bodies. Don't you think some people would be willing to pay a lot of money to solve these kinds of issues? Of course. Now, what about if you could help somebody to repair their marriage, to avoid a costly divorce? Don't you think that's worth a lot of money? What if you could help somebody to invest in real estate and to 10x their net worth? Don't you think they would be willing to pay a lot of money to learn how to do it? Or what if, like me, you could help people to build a profitable online business and allow them to become financially free, to travel and to do whatever they want? Don't you think that's worth a lot of money? Now, what all of these offers have in common is that first, we charge high ticket prices. So typically, per client, we earn anywhere between $1,000, and that's the lower tier of the range, to $5,000. That's the average, because some offers, they sell for $9K, and that can be per month, alright? So one client can pay you $9,000 per month. So that's crazy. Meaning, to make 10K, you only need 10 customers at 1K. For example, 10 customers, 1K, or 5 clients at 2K. Whereas with dropshipping or all of these business models, because what you sell is so cheap, you sell stuff for 20 to at best $100. So you need 10 to 100 times more customers to make the same amount of money. And it's much easier to convince people to pay you more for a higher quality service than to convince more people to pay a small price. 2. You have low overhead and high profit margins. Like I said, when I make 10K, I get to keep 90 to 95% of it. That's insane. Whereas with dropshipping, you keep 5 to 20% of it. And with all of those business models, we looked together. So number 3, you work with fewer but better customers, like I explained. People who are hesitant to pay $20. I mean, honestly, I don't even bother working with these people. They can stay broke. It's really not my problem. Instead, I work with customers that are ready to put in the work and to invest in themselves. If I show you how to make 10K per month, I'm not going to charge you $20 or $100, but the return on investment will be worth it. Number 4, you can make a living doing what you love. I mean, maybe your passion is fitness. Maybe your passion is talking about relationships or personal development. Maybe your passion is real estate or e-commerce. You could make a living doing what you love, helping others to fix problems in these areas. So here is the simple funnel we use: traffic, calls, and then we deliver the result to the customer. So traffic, it's typically different things. So there's outreach, then there's social media content, and that's it. Now we can do paid advertising, but when you're a beginner, I don't recommend it. When you're at least 5K per month, then we can start turning on some paid ads. But if we can get most of our customers with organic methods, well, we're gonna make a lot more money because we have much higher profit margins, 80 to 95% when we scale. Now, what about calls? We do not sell on a sales page because on a sales page, only 0.2% of people actually become paying customers, whereas on calls, 20 to sometimes even 50% of people that we talk to can actually become paying customers. So, I mean, I'd rather do calls and sell 100 times more than do a sales page because I'm too lazy to do calls. And in the future, you don't have to take all the calls yourself. You can hire remote closers and then they do all the work for you. Now, delivery. There's typically 3 forms of delivery, even 4 if you want to be more specific. There's one-to-one coaching, there's group coaching, then there's done-for-you services that you do yourself, and then you can use contractors to deliver the services instead of you doing it yourself. So for example, some of my customers, they provide lead generation services, and some do it themselves, but some also leverage remote contractors to do it for them. That way, all they have to do is to focus on getting more visibility and pitching more people. That's literally it. Now be honest, if you knew how to make $10,000 per month online, you would have done it already. That's the truth, and you need to accept it. In my business, I stayed stuck for almost a year. All of that because I wasn't willing to invest in myself, and because I thought that I just knew better. So this is, as you can see, R for results and T for time. That was me trying to do everything by myself. I made one sale. Wow, incredible. A tiny sale. Wow, amazing. And then I was just like, you know what? I just don't know everything on my own. So let's do something else. And then I worked with a mentor, and I had a call with my mentor, and then I implemented my idea, and my revenue went like this, all right? So would you rather be here and struggling and be on your own, and in a whole year I made $1,100, something like that? Or would you rather work with a mentor who knows what they're doing and be here? Like, the choice is yours. So to help you, right now, I'm offering free strategy calls where together, we'll come up with a game plan for you to go from 0 or wherever you are right now to 10K per month and even more as quickly as possible using the simple formula I just shared with you. So if you're interested, book your free call. The link will be in the description. But be quick because our limited spots fill up extremely quickly and I don't know for how long I'm going to keep enrolling new students. So with that said, I will see you on the other side.